Imagine running a hotel where you have 5,000 hungry guests to feed every day. The only catch is that at this hotel, you're not feeding humans. You're feeding 450 different species of animals, and they all have their own unique diet.
Sound like a daunting task? Well, that's exactly what happens here at the Metro Toronto Zoo every day. How do they do it? Let's just say that planning the menu for this place can be a little complicated.
Here's where it all starts each day, the zoo commissary. At first glance, everything looks pretty normal. Lots of fresh fruit, vegetables, and meat all being cut up and weighed according to strict nutritional recipes. But look a little closer, and things get a little stranger.
When it comes to designing a diet, the first thing the zoo tries to do is feed the animals something close to what they would normally eat in the wild. And that requires a few unusual ingredients, like mice for the Tasmanian devils, guinea pigs for the snakes, hamsters for the otters, live crickets for the lizards, and cow's blood for the vampire bats.
However, for lots of other animals, deciding what to feed them isn't so straightforward. Since they come from all over the world, it's too expensive to import their regular diet. So the zoo has to find alternative foods. In some cases, the alternatives are easy. For instance, because they have a similar digestive system, zebras can eat the same feed that we give to horses. And camels can be fed the same diet as cows. But lots of other animals don't have a domestic equivalent. So how do you know what to feed these animals? Well, that's when the zoo has to do a little detective work. They start with a visit to the animal's natural habitat to find out what it normally eats in the wild. Then they bring the samples back to the lab and grind them up in a blender. The mixture is then analyzed, and this analysis gives the zoo a chemical breakdown of all the nutrients in the animal's regular diet. The problem now is figuring out how to get those nutrients to the animal.
In some cases, the zoo just invents its own food. That's what these things are. They're food pellets made specifically for the zoo. They contain all the nutrients needed by a particular animal. These ones, for example, are fed to the elephants and the rhinos. And these ones are designed for the monkeys.
Now, theoretically, the animals could survive on just the pellets alone, but that would be pretty boring. So instead, the zoo uses the pellets as a base diet and then provides other foods to give the animals some variety.
Unfortunately, this pellet idea doesn't work for everyone. Take the big cats, for example. They're carnivores. They eat raw meat. They're not going to eat pellets. But of course, the zoo can't afford to ship in fresh gazelle or wildebeest every week. So what do you suppose they feed these guys?
Raw horse meat. But here's the strange part. To keep the cats healthy, you can't just feed them meat. You have to add something extra to their diet.
But hang on a second. If these cats only eat meat in the wild, then why would we have to add anything extra to the meat they get at the zoo?
Well, the reason is that when one of these cats makes a kill, they don't just eat meat. They also eat skin, hair, organs, and bone. Those extra bits provide the cats with important vitamins and minerals. And without those nutrients, they would develop weak bones and reproductive problems. So to make up for this deficiency, the zoo has to add certain vitamins and minerals to the horse meat before it's ground up and fed to the cats. But adding extra vitamins and minerals to meals is not unique to the cats. It's done for lots of other animals, too. For the zoo, it's the simplest way to make sure that each animal is receiving all the nutrients they need to keep them healthy and happy.
Even the seals need a supplement. But what could possibly be wrong with their daily diet of frozen fish and squid? Well, the problem is that a frozen fish contains a lot less vitamin E and thiamine than a fresh fish. And without those nutrients, the seal's nervous system will eventually stop functioning properly. So each day, the seal keeper thaws out the frozen fish and then stuffs some of them with vitamin and mineral pills. These enriched fish are then fed to the seals along with the rest of their diet.
The final problem for the zoo is finicky eaters. They're the animals that pick through their food and only eat what they like. Now, since each food serves a purpose, this selective dining means that the animals will be losing some important nutrients from their diet.
To solve this picky eater problem, the zoo has come up with an ingenious solution. They make what they call gels. Now, to make a gel, you take all the different foods you want the animal to eat, you grind them up, and mix them together with a flavored gelatin. When the gelatin sets, it holds all the foods together like a big slab of Jell-O. And with everything stuck together, the animal can't pick through its food anymore, so it eats everything. Strawberry.
Now, if you're going to go to all this trouble to properly feed all these animals, you're going to want to know if each diet is working. But how do you tell? Well, you can take note of how much food they leave behind, whether they're gaining or losing weight, and you can check their skin or fur for signs of nutritional problems.
However, there is one other measuring tool that's available every day. You see, here at the zoo, the one thing there's never a shortage of is animal poop. This happens to be a pile of rhinoceros dung. Now, scooping this stuff up is not the zookeeper's favorite chore of the day, but apparently if you know what to look for, you can tell a lot from this stuff.
How does it smell? There's a certain smell that's normal, and any other smell can indicate there's a problem. Consistency is another clue. Are the droppings too sloppy or too dry? And then there's the color. Is the poop too dark, too light, or just the wrong color altogether?
Any of these signs can indicate that there's a problem with the animal's current diet. And if that's the case, well, you just have to go back to the drawing board and come up with something new for the animal to try. Now, let's see. What if we took a couple of mice, an apple, vitamins, some live crickets, and of course some cow's blood. Now who could resist that? But hang on a second. If these cats only eat meat in the wild, then why would we have to put anything extra into their meat in the zoo? Oh, I don't like that. I'll do it again. But hang on a second. If these cats only eat meat in the zoo,